So you've got a boat, probably a new boat, and you want to keep it looking great. Well, let me tell you about the products I would never ever use on my upholstery in my boat. Keeping your upholstery looking good is going to make your boat look great for a long time, but there's a lot of things that people do that they think is a good thing, but actually could be causing some major problems for your boat down the line, and you don't even put it together after a couple of years when your seats start deteriorating. You don't realize it's because of some of the things you've been using to clean it and keeping it look good. So here are the things that I would never use and why, and my recommendation for what to do instead. So we talk about this a little bit in the Best Boat Captain on the Water training, but the first thing is anything abrasive. So this brush, the heavy duty scratchy pads on the sponges, the scratchy sponges, the magic erasers, however they're labeled, whether they're these, the easy erasing pads, the actual Mr. Clean magic erasers, or any other brand. We're going to talk about why. Or, you know, a scrubber like this. Now, it's not that I will never use these under any circumstances on my boat, but you have to understand the right situations to use them. If you look at your upholstery, if you look at the seams, what you'll find is thread. What are they? Thread. Well, it's very thin thread, and depending on the manufacturer of your boat and the age of your boat, that thread gets broken down by UV rays, by sunscreens, by butts sitting on them, by towels rubbing on them. It takes a lot of abuse. That's where the most common issue that you'll see on a used boat is the upholstery is starting to or has pulled apart at the seam. Now, the reason for that is because of these abrasive materials. Is you're scrubbing with the scratchy sponge. You're scrubbing with the magic eraser. And where does the stain usually go? Well, it drips right down into that seam because that's the lowest level. The scratchy pad. All of those are going to lead to the thread wearing out sooner. What happens when the thread starts to fray? Well, then it's just a matter of time before that thread breaks, and there's no easy way to replace a thread. Once that goes, you're on your way to having some major damage to your upholstery and the seam starting to pull apart. And if you're using these abrasive materials, these abrasive cleaners, you're going to find that your threads on your upholstery start tearing and wearing out sooner than if you didn't. The other thing that happens is as soon as you start using these, it takes off any of the UV protector that's on the upholstery itself. So what seems like, oh, I'm getting this nice and good and clean and getting down into those hard to reach areas of the textured upholstery like this Cobalt has, well, what you're really doing is you're setting that upholstery up to fail on you later down the line. So that's the abrasive thing. That's number one. The second is, what cleaning products are you using? Now, I love Meguiar's. Meguiar's wax and compound is great. They do a fantastic job. But I was at the cleaning section in the store, and for $10, I think, or whatever these were, these premium shine protected wipes, non-greasy formula, clean, shines, and protects. Superior UV blocking for durable protection. So you think, oh, I'm gonna re-add that UV protectant back on. I can wipe down the spills that the kids make. I can wipe down the boat real quick and easy. But what you find when you get to the ingredient section is you find right here, it says contains ethylated alcohols. Now, what does alcohol do when it gets on your upholstery? It sucks the moisture out. It makes it dry and brittle and cracked over time. So as you're using what seems like a protectant on your upholstery, you find that you're actually sucking the moisture, sucking the life out, the suppleness, the softness of your upholstery and you're causing it to fail prematurely. The second biggest thing you'll see if you look at a used boat is cracked upholstery. Just in the middle of the upholstery, you start to see cracks. You think, oh, it must be cheap material. Could be, but it's also more than likely they used a cleaner like this that has some alcohol in it. So be very diligent about checking to make sure you're not using a cleaner with alcohol. Armor All, one of the most popular ones, has alcohol in it, but you'll find that this one says go to the website to see all of the ingredients. So they don't show that it's got alcohol in here, but leather care, thick, rich formula, cleans, conditions, and protects. Preserve rich, soft, supple look and feel. Fights against fading, add aging and cracking. The reality is that there may be something in this bottle that's going to cause damage to your seat, but you got to go to the website to even find out. So what I recommend is finding a product that you don't buy at the store. It certainly is not Clorox. I understand if you've got some white seats that you dilute some Clorox and you just spray it on and it cleans like magic. But it's causing major damage to your upholstery and to your thread on your seams. So I can't even believe I brought this on the boat. It's a brand new bottle, never been opened. There was no way I was going to bring an open bottle on the boat. But these are the products that I would avoid. Again, in the Best Boat Captain on the Water training, we talk about how to take care of your boat, not just the upholstery, but inside, outside, the engine, how to operate it so that you have total control. We cover all of that in the Best Boat Captain on the Water's trainings. So how do you clean your boat? Well, here's my recommendation for you. I got this from an old Navy guy that had boats for decades before I even knew him. He's the one that taught me how to ski, taught me how to drive the boat when I was just 5 years old. And what he would do, warm bucket of water with vinegar. And it was about a 4-to-1 ratio, vinegar to water. And here's what happened, is that's what he would wipe down all of the seats with. Warm water and just a bucket of water and a rag. Wiped it all down. That got the dirt off. That got the sunscreen off. That got 90% of what's on your seats. That will get it off. That vinegar is going to kind of break down some of the material a little bit, but it's not going to cause any damage to anything. The seats, the upholstery, the thread, and it's going to do a great job. Now, from there, if you've got a spot, well, a toothbrush is a great option to scrub a little spot. Nice soft bristles, but it can get down into the cracks and crevices if you need to. And if you make it a habit of every time you use the boat, you wipe it down with your wettest towel, get as much dirt off as you can, and then when you clean it, you use that warm water and vinegar solution, and you wipe everything down with just a rag, a clean white rag preferably. And then if you've got a spot that you need to get out, get your toothbrush and address each individual spot. That's my recommendation. That's going to leave the original UV protector on, and then if it's a little bit older boat, then you can go ahead and apply an actual protectant. But again, make sure there's no alcohol in it of any sort, because that's going to suck the moisture out. That'll have your boat looking great for years and years to come. Protect the resale value, keep that pride of ownership up, that is how I believe you should take care of the interior of your boat. All of the conversations on Facebook and social media about hot sauce this and 303 that, which I love those products, they're fine, as long as they don't have that alcohol in it. There's a dozen different products that you can go buy online or in the stores, but if you want the easy way, just some vinegar and warm water is going to get most everything off. Put it in a bucket, wipe it all down, and you're going to be much, much happier 5 years down the line. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in the next video, and we'll hopefully see you in the Best Boat Captain on the Water training.